Welcome back to our SQC Workbook. We are now in series number 3 of our workbook. I'm your host, Andre Lim, the Director of Lanka Institute of Quality Management. Let's look at the Plan, Do, Check, Action cycle. The 4 phases are planning to solve the problem. We have to identify, analyze the problem, and then find ways to tackle the problem. Find all options, find the least cost, find the best way of doing it without affecting people or the processes. Then the next stage, which is do, is when we develop and test potential solutions to the problem. And then we do the check if we have met our targets that's given to us in our plans. And finally, action, which means standardization. Now this is what we call a scientific approach to problem solving because it is based on data collection, analysis, proper study of mechanics and mechanisms, and all causes to the problem. Human approach to problem solving is less formal. It is trial and error. Let's try this, let's try that. Now the disadvantage is that it takes a long time and usually it's not successful, and the best solutions are not found either. The best way to solve a problem is not found. So let's move. And this, what makes up the plan stage? You have to first choose a project, and I would encourage your team to finish at least one project in about 6 months. You can choose a project. If you don't have any idea what to do, you should at least do 4 of these kinds of projects. That will make you more targeted to what you're supposed to learn as a total quality person. So this is highly encouraged and may be considered even as primary projects. Then you can do other projects, like how to improve transportation to schools and so on. Number 1, improve our undesired behavior to be socially responsible and likable. Okay, so here the first thing that you must change is yourself. To be a good person, to be socially acceptable. Sometimes parents tell you don't do this, don't do that, and inherently there are bad behaviors, there are bad habits. Now these have to go. Alright, these have to go. And work with your friends. They are there, they like you, they want to help you. Don't be defensive. Listen to what they tell you and try to change. It's not easy to change, but try your best to change. The second type of project involves studies. First, you do something about yourself. If you can't change yourself, don't expect to change the world. So second is how to improve your studies. Now, that's how to be smart. Smart students have good methods. They won't use their time on unproductive methods of studying, spending more hours and not remembering anything or not understanding anything. So here's a chance for you to learn from your friends. Here's a chance for you to learn about how to study. Number 3 is how to improve the environment, to reduce waste, how to do recycling, how to be carbon neutral, or reduce global warming through so many methods. Okay, I can't begin to want to start because I can't stop. Helping the poor so that you can develop a heart of compassion. That's very important. Okay, that will be another project which you can do. So we want a practical approach to solving people who are poor. Many poor in Sri Lanka, so you should help others who are in need. Now when we choose a project, always remember that it has to be a process. Every work is a process. This is the input and this is the output. In between, there are processes and waste is being produced and so on. It's inevitable waste will be produced. So the input, let's say, how to be a qualified person with lots of certificates, to be high ranking in your studies so that you can be admitted to institution of higher learning. What would be the inputs? Okay, the books, the teachers, the library facilities, the internet, and so on. So here the processes will be like learning methods, remembering method, practicing methods, paying attention, and so on. So when you want to solve a project, don't do the whole thing. It's too complicated. Take one at a time. Okay, like for example, paying attention. Why we are not paying attention? Do this as a project first. Okay, choose the biggest to the smallest. Normally a Pareto diagram will help you identify the 80-20. Which one is the biggest problem? Solve the top 20% of the problem. Don't solve everything. Okay. Right. So don't try to tackle a system. This is a system. Too many processes. Tackle one process at a time. Okay. Turn to page 7. Here's a box here. Fill in this box the reason why you choose this project. Okay, why is this important? Because we want you to demonstrate that you know how to prioritize problems. You know, many people have a lot of problems. And you know what happens when people have a lot of problems? They do the easiest. Should you do the easiest? No. You should solve the one that is giving you the biggest headache and affecting your life. You know, it's maybe something that you are afraid to address, but it should be addressed, and that should be done first. Don't do the trivial. I need to wash my shoes. I need to polish my belt buckle. No, you have a big problem. You have an examination that is coming. Solve this problem first. Alright. Grasping the present situation. You need to get information like, okay, what is it right now? You need to have data. Don't say, oh, I got problems. What kind of problems do you have? You know, oh, I'm going to school late. Measure this. How many times were you late last week, last month, half of this year? Okay, have data. Then here next, do a schedule of activities. All right. In a project, you have many steps to solve a problem here. So in this schedule activities here, I've done a key for you. If it's bold arrow, this is plan. If it's dotted arrow, this is actual. So for example here, this is month, 6 months here. All right. First month, team selection. Normally it won't take you so long, maybe a week or 2 weeks. Just for example, down here I'll show you. This is how you draw it. About 1/3 down, you do the bold arrows. That is plan. Do all the plan first. Okay. When are you going to grasp the present situation? When will you draw the schedule activities? When you do the cost analysis? When do you do your? So here you don't put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here will be this. Say for example, this is the month of October. So you put October, then November, December, January, February, March, for example. Okay. Put the actual month here, then put in the year. Okay, what year it is, you have to write down the year. So this is the year here, for example, 2015. Right. Then when you have completed this, then you are ready to say, try to fit everything within 6 months. Don't drag it the last 1 year, 2 years. This is not a way to solve a problem. Okay, so now that you have completed that, you are ready to go to the next step, which is cost analysis. So thank you very much for paying attention. I look forward to seeing you again in the next session.